everybody, and welcome to Cope with Hope. Today, I have the coolest person I know. I mean, I knew him since I was 4 years old, and I always looked up to
Yeah,
Kailash and his brother Jeet because they were in a cool band, right? And we used to live
that's
in the
it. Yeah,
same
the
building.
bad boys. Yeah,
We were the band boys, and I was this 4-year-old goo-goo-eyed girl and his sister was also a little older than me, but I knew her, Rohini. And these boys were just so cool and so chilled, and they played in a band. So, when you're young, you think, oh my God, what is this? And something about Kailash is that he's always stayed with the buzz of the times. From the coolest little ad he did that was just the most popular ad, and every model's dream was to be in his ad films, to what he's doing today, Chakra View on MX Player, that he's produced that, to Pir Mile Sur, to they were executive producers on Mighty Heart. He's always been on top of his game. And with that, I've never seen him look frazzled. I've never seen him stamp on anybody. He's just one of the kindest, coolest, chillest human beings that I know. So thank you so much, Kailash, for agreeing to do this.
thank you for the barrage of compliments. Thank you very much.
And well, I want to ask you, what is it that inspires you all these years, that's inspired you and motivated you to be in this very creative world and to be in it in this very cool manner?
Well, first of all, to be in this creative world, I mean, I was born in a film family. If you recall, when you were in Rockside and we were all living there, my dad was an actor,
Yes.
and he was an actor singer of yesteryears. It was more like the 50s, and then
Yes.
later on became a character actor. So I just happened to be born in a situation where I was surrounded by film people, film technicians, and talk of films.
Yes.
And I think somehow when you're born in that environment, you have no choice. And I love films. I love watching films.
Yes.
To be in the film industry in some way or the other.
Yes.
And I think, and then my brother went to the film institute. I met a lot of his friends who were studying there. I was here, and I used to meet his technician friends and talk cinema. Then I started going to the archives and watch cinema. I really love films.
Yes.
So I think that was my inspiration to be in films in some form or the other. And as far as attitude is concerned, I don't know. You're just born with it. So if you have, if you're not frazzled, you're not frazzled. If you're frazzled, you're frazzled.
Yeah, I know
But I
it's
think
like,
a few things. Sorry, a few things you realize. I mean, I realized I think when I was young is that it's all about enjoying yourself.
yes.
Whatever you do.
Yes.
Because I must tell you quite honestly that I was doing very well in school, but when I joined college, I became a bit of a loafer and a bit of a rebel.
Yes.
After doing a first class first in senior Cambridge in ISC in Canton School, I was like really going academically downhill in college. But I had a strong foundation, and it was because I knew that it was I just wanted to party. I wanted to have a good time, and I always had confidence that sort of life and the universe would take care of me. So I
Wow.
think that worked out okay.
That worked out very well because I see
Yeah,
you as a father. I think you're a wonderful family man. You have a son and a daughter, and I know that you and
yes,
Aarti do so many things together. Like you've encouraged her
yeah,
always to work alongside you. And I know
yeah.
both of you have your very different creative ideas, but I see you amalgamate everything together and work as a team. It's a wonderful thing to see, Kailash.
Yes, I mean, it's good that we can complement each other.
Yes,
She's a great organizer and very creative, as you know.
yes,
And somehow, our combined sensibilities in any project is always an advantage rather than a
yes,
disadvantage.
yes.
Even if you conflict, what will come out of it will be good.
I like
So I
that.
think it's, yeah, because we work it out somehow.
I
and
love that.
never
Even if
concedes.
we
Yeah,
conflict, it'll come. There'll be something that comes out good. That's a
yeah, because I'm sure the outcome that we resolve in the end
yes.
will always be for the better, no matter who concedes. So I think that's
Yeah.
that's an advantage in work, definitely, because it's all towards the quality of the work that you're doing.
Wow. That's a
It works
wonderful
well.
way of seeing it and putting it. And what would you say are your milestones, not just in life, but in your career?
Uh, well, to start with, I think at an early age when I was just out of school. I mean, the band was great fun,
Yes.
but that's not really a milestone. But at an early age, when I just joined college, I met this guy who's now known as Osho. At
Yes.
that time, he was Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh. And I spent some time there. And I think, I took away quite a lot. I
Okay.
learned quite a lot. And that sort of propelled me into my life and my career. So that was one thing. I mean, it was a long, long time ago. I was just about 17.
Yes.
But I remember that as being a milestone, definitely, because that gives you an attitude of enjoyment, of celebration. There was something which I learned there which no one else was telling you. Everyone else was telling you life is serious. But
Yes.
here we were, parting away, and here I met someone, a wise man who encouraged it. So I think that was good.
Yes.
And then, you see, once I was in college, I started working almost immediately.
Yes.
I started working almost immediately because there was my dad was dabbling in production and commercial production, but not pulling it off too well. He was too used to being an actor.
Yes.
And he was too old to be a hero. So that transition also takes time to get into character roles and all that. So
Yes.
I thought, now I have to work to contribute.
Yes.
So when I started working, uh, in my own little way, I used his contacts and everything. I think just my destiny and luck followed me because I met people from Lintas. I went and saw them. They offered me Lyril and Alec, Jerson. There was a lady called Movie. And it was almost like it was all meant to be, you know. And I mean, I didn't have any experience, didn't have any training, but I'd managed to do a couple of films with my dad's friends and influence. And I think whatever I showed had some freshness, something new in it because I was young and I was experimenting with cinema as well.
Yes.
And but from there on, that was one major milestone as far as career goes.
Yes.
Then you go on, there have been milestones right through. I mean, there was in my career itself, around that time when we got married, Aarti and me, I started doing these national integration films for Suresh Malik and O&M,
Yes.
and I directed them all. There was Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, there was Spread the Light of Freedom, Ragdesh, and that itself, I started getting known for that really well. I
Yes.
mean, the response from all these things was much, much more than I'd ever imagined while I was working on them.
Yes.
The emotional response, the public's response, and most of this stuff was for cinema those days. It came to TV only from the 80s onwards, actually.
Yes.
Little and all that I did for cinema, so on a big screen. And I think that this whole batch of national integration films also was a great milestone.
Yes.
And now, if I look back, I did all the brands. I did, lots of brands from Marmol to Sunsilk to so many things over the years. I worked abroad a lot. I worked overseas in Nigeria and the Middle East. I used to keep doing commercials for them, going there, shooting, coming back. Now, with advertising and then in the lockdown and everything, just before that, actually, we saw OTT coming. We were watching Netflix. I was watching Amazon and I was enjoying that so much. I knew this was the future and I thought we must get into it.
Yes.
And thanks to our good friend Samir Nair, who had just started Applause at that time, we proposed a few stories, a few books, and now I think we're going to be spending a lot of time, making content for OTT, and it seems to be the future. Of course, it's still entertainment, it's still filmmaking, and the craft and the trade is actually what I'm doing
Yes.
in terms of commercials as well. But it's a new, exciting medium, and technology is changing constantly. I
Yes.
like to keep up with technology. I always have. I like to have the new gadgets, the latest phones, and everything. And I can see that storytelling is going to change rapidly now over the years.
Yes.
Probably what is going to come in the future is something we can't even imagine now. And I like the excitement of that. I'm going to be making a lot more content here.
Okay, so by that, do you mean are you going to be on the production side, or are you going to develop the stories, or you're going to be involved from the like right in the beginning, choosing the stories and then being part of the whole screenplay as well as the creative side and production, or just the production, or what is your
Well,
plan?
my experience actually is as a producer and a director. I'm primarily
Okay,
both.
yes,
And our first film, which we just did, Chakravyuh, our first series, which we just did for applause, we were really the creative producers and the showrunners. And I've sat on the script. I've even written a couple of songs.
wow,
So you have to be hands-on on production, of course. I mean,
yes,
Aarti has a lot of ability to organize things. Me, not so much, but still, I know people, and as a producer,
yes,
I know how people operate in all fields of filmmaking. So that experience is very valuable in the industry. It's
yes,
more than you can ever learn at an institute, or you don't only get that out of experience. So
absolutely,
I'm keen that we probably do a bit of both.
yes,
As producers and showrunners, you have to be creative. I
absolutely,
remember hours and hours of sitting with the screenplay writers, and then now hours and hours of editing, post production to finish this.
yes,
Which I was doing, which was all creative work, all design work, and sometimes, if I feel like directing something and there's a subject I like, I will direct. My son is also a director. Angadveer, he's studied in Philadelphia and Temple College filmmaking. So I think we'll all be another offshoot of the film family again. And
wow.
we're all here to stay, I think.
I'm
The
so
whole
happy to
family.
hear that, Kailash, and best of luck to all of you. You are
Thank
all
you.
so talented, and it's just a wonderful family. And just one thing I want to know: how did you choose Chakraview? What is it about Chakraview that drew you to the story? Is it because it's a contemporary story that's very relevant in today's times?
Well, to tell
What
you the
is
truth,
it?
it is about 10 years old. It's a book
Okay.
by Piyush Jha. It's called Inspector Weaker and the Antisocial Network.
Okay.
Now, Piyush has written three stories on Inspector Weaker so far. So at that point, when OTT was relatively new, especially in India, the productions, the crime genre seemed to be a good genre to get into. Now, of course, it's opened up much wider. You can do emotion, you can do coming of age, you can
Yes.
do almost any kind of theme that you enjoy and like to see. But crime was like something which I thought would be nice to do at that stage. Of course, under production it took 2 years and the whole scene has opened up, but crime is still there, and
Yes.
everybody loves crime and true stories and suspense and mysteries.
Yes.
And when Angad read the book, my son, I asked him to read it. I asked them to read what I think might work. He said, yes, yes, it's interesting. It's got, it's not predictable and all that. So we presented these to applause to Samir Nair and said that, look, here's a character, Inspector Veerkar, who might have scope to, go a long way.
Yes.
And they're very fast in decisions. They move fast. They bought the rights from Piyush of all the USP books and the character. And
Okay.
then, well, we got one of them out. And hopefully
Wow.
we'll have a few more seasons to go for this guy as well.
That's fantastic. So, Kailash, tell me what hope means for you. What does the word hope mean for you?
Hope, yeah. See, hope is to me it's optimism. I don't think hope is something which you look for. A better life. Don't look for in the future
Yes,
because future is non-existent. It hasn't come. Past, as they say, is over, and it's always the present. But when you act in hope or when you live in hope, I think it's really optimism. It's positivity. It means that you have a certain confidence. Like I said, you have a faith in existence, in the universe, and God, whatever you might think of it as. And you think that, this whole cosmos, which you're part of, is going to take care of you. And I think that itself, to me, hope itself, if you look at it like taking two straws, I don't like the connotation.
Yeah,
But if you look at it as positivity, as, a good spirit, knowing that things are always going to be well eventually, and things are as they should be, then I think it's a good emotion.
I
And to
love
me,
it.
that is what it is. Yeah.
I love it. That hope is the cosmos taking care of you. Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Because,
fantastic.
a lot of people are live in the future thinking that, we sacrifice today, something great will happen in the future.
Yeah,
But that I don't think is a very healthy attitude
yeah,
because, as John Lennon has said in one of his songs, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. So it's best that you live in the present. You live fully in the present and you live with optimism and you live with the positivity and everything will be well.
wow, amazing, amazing. Now I know why you always chilled. Because in the present, well, this is what's happening, and just accept that it's the best thing that the cosmos is offering you. I've seen you, I've worked with you, Kailash. I've seen you. As much as
Yes.
Kailash talks about partying, you have to see him on the job. He's so hardworking, but he's always cool. That's the amazing thing about him. That
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy my work.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's just lovely. It's a lovely example. It's very inspirational to be part of his team. I know that. And anybody who speaks of you always says something wonderful. That's what's so lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, thank you, Kailash. Before we sign off, is there anything you'd like to tell our audience about, I don't know, the future, or about yourself, or how to live a happy life?
No, I think I've preached enough already. I preached a bit.
Yeah, I know you preach
Yeah, no, I
beautifully.
mean, if today I'd like to tell young people, express yourself, be creative in whatever field that you feel you can express yourself. I mean, I did it with filmmaking. So, some people like to paint, to draw, to sing. I think you do what you can do well, express yourself, and it'll always work out. It'll always work out.
Thank you.
That's what I
That
feel.
was
Yeah.
wonderful. It'll always work out. Express
Yeah.
yourself and it'll always work out. Wow. Yeah,
Great.
great. It's
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you, Nandini.
Thank you,
Thanks for having me.
Kailash.